All right. 302 update. Manual says we're supposed to have a spacer, and look at that. Well, get it framed, dummy. So, got a coat of quick dry primer on there. I kind of like it because it's kind of dark brown. So, anyway, makes the brown. So we're going to coat of paint on that. So that may, probably not tonight, but tomorrow we'll be able to get that bad boy right there. I think how pretty. Get that in behind that and get it on that. I went through the carburetor because it had issues. It's got the new rubber tips needle. Blew everything out. Everything seems to be normal. The float was going up and down nice and easy, nice and, I don't know what happened when it decided it wanted to overflow the carburetor the other night, but come on, get in. Well, why would you? Because you're on film, so why would you cooperate anyway? Blowing air through the main jet. I got mist coming out everywhere I should have. So I don't think there's anything wrong with the carburetor. We're going to, there's nothing wrong with the carburetor. We hopes. That looked a little close to the witness marks. Yeah, not close enough to cause a problem though. That's how I like to put them back together. Turn them upside down and put the bottom on. Anyway, so I'll put the screws back in. That'll get all done. We might get that put back on tonight. I apologize for some of the earlier shots in this video because I realized when I had opened the lens cover that doesn't open like it's supposed to. I got a fingerprint like right down the middle of the screen. Hopefully that's been cleaned up and video looks better now. So anyway, I might get that cleaned back up and get it back on the tractor. Yeah, so that I can get, because I'm winding down for the night. I'm going to get that back on the tractor and then get all my carts and stuff put away. I got some Dutch oven management I got to do. There's some oil in there. Definitely in this one frying stuff. The fish fries, I got to get these ready to go because we're going camping next weekend, and we don't have to do we were requested to do chicken and dumplings in the Dutch ovens. Seems to be kind of our specialty when we go camping, and there's enough of us normally for our family. That one's enough to have enough for everybody plus leftovers. I've never cooked in that big one, and it's way heavier than it should be. It's really, really thick. I think it's a custom made piece because it's actually got some people's names cast. I bought it in an auction. That's kind of cool with the deer on top. And then, anyhow, I gotta get my Dutch ovens cleaned up yet tonight. Try to anyway. I think that's a project I can get done, but I need to get carburetor back together, back on the tractor, and then get the rest of this mess organized, cleaned up, put back away so I can get the Jeep, Mama's Jeep, back in. Yeah, so long way to go, but we're gonna get there. Still shooting to have it at the Johnson County Tractor Show, like 13th, 14th, 15th of June, something like that. I got about 3 weeks. Unfortunately, next week's short because camping Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But, hey, we'll get there. It runs. If it leaks a little, it'll leak a little. But, and I'm probably not going to have the sheet metal buffed by then, but we're gonna do what we can, and yeah, I'll be back. Alright, back out in the garage. Whoever shut this off. And just so YouTube's doesn't get mad at me for having the greatest spectacle in racing in the background. So, back out here, as you can see, I got my spacer plate in there. Got everything bolted back up. That's back on there. Everything's tight. Over on this side, tube's back in. It's got, yeah, hopefully that's in far enough to seal in the block. I know it's going to be sealed there because of the ultra gray that's been setting up for about an hour. So I'm going to fill the radiator back up and fire it back up and see if it's gonna, yeah, I might want to put some bolts into that. Well, maybe 2 bolts back into that before I fire it up. But fire it up, make sure it's not going to leak. If it doesn't leak, alternator can go back on, power steering pump can go back on, but all that stuff can go back together. And then if it doesn't leak and all that stuff's back together, we can run it for a little bit, warm it up, run the valves, see where we're at. Anyway, I'll be back. All right, the race is over. I guess New Garden won, back-to-backs, something like that, whatever. Anyway. Why you gotta be like that? Falling down and stuff over there. All right, so I had it started, had it running. I did adjust the carburetor a little bit so it idled a little better. Might still need a little bit, but so far I don't have any leaks that I can see. I did know that. I did have a revelation. I got to put the alternator back on so that we can spin the water pump. Otherwise, that test might have been a waste of time. But anyhow, I think we'll go ahead and put the fan blades back on, put the alternator back on, we'll fire it back up. Try again. All right, we're gonna return back to your normal programming right after I go change my shorts. So I was putting the old alternator back on, and I don't know what I went to do, but this wire right here, yeah, that basically goes straight to the battery that was still hooked up. And when the sparks started flying, I might have made a mess of myself. Anyhow, battery has now been disconnected, so carry on. Hurry up and get it on film before it dies. Man, I don't know how slow that's running. Oh, that's all she wrote. But on a positive note, before the music starts and Jimi Hendrix gets me kicked off of YouTube's, no leaks. I think I'm going to call that warm enough. We're going to pop the valve cover off and check valve clearances. Yep. All right, here's where I'm going to wrap this one up, I think. Alternator's back on. I think it doesn't, it's not charging. I'm going to move that over here to this terminal. I don't know if that'll make any difference or not. Anyway, alternator's back on. I started putting the power steering pump back on. All the bolts are in and stuff. I haven't hooked up any of those yet because I haven't decided if I'm going to finish this or I'm going to take this back off, because it's a lot easier to adjust the throttle linkage if this is out of the way. And the reason I would want to adjust throttle linkage is to get the RPMs set where I want them. It's supposed to be like 2120 maximum no load or high idle. Well, I don't know what it's turning. So anyway, and I can't tell what it's turning because something missing there, because it's laying over here, and this is the engine, the motor end, and that's the gauge end. That should still be down in there attached. So if anybody out there's got a part number for the tack cable for a 302 Super that I can go to Summit Racing, O'Reilly's, Amazon, anywhere. I don't care where, but if somebody's got a good part number so I can get a good tack cable on this thing, sell me it. So, because I'm going to have to do. Why is it look like my chainsaw's leaking? Hopefully I just borrow oil. Yeah, it's just borrow oil leaking out. Anyhow, so I've either got to do that or I got to figure out how to get some kind of a temporary tack on this thing. so I can get the throttle linkage set so we don't scatter the thing after a fresh build because we're turning too many earpums. But anyhow, I'm kind of happy with the way she runs. Or she's going to make me look silly, but yeah. No choke. Fires right up ish, sort of. So I'm pretty happy with it. Just got to get the tack figured out and get the RPM set. And then once all that's done, then we can tackle this wiring madness that is the lights and stuff. Anyhow, that's where we're at on the Super.